Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wrestling Experience. My name is Earl Cole, and tonight you've landed on that mothership. Once again, you've landed on Planet Experience. We've got a massive show. We've got a big show. A show that is so big that we're going to try to unpack it into one show. First of all, we have to talk about the Mr. McMahon thing that happened today. We're going to talk about Jim Ross. We're going to talk about Chad Gable's contract. We're going to talk about Dynamite. We're going to rewind the King and the Queen of the Ring. And we're going to rewind Double or Nothing. So we've got a massive show. It's a big show. And it's all for you here tonight on the Wrestling Experience. So please stand by and we're going to get it all going right about now. And welcome to the Wrestling Experience.
You've landed on the Logo ship. Welcome to Planet Experience. Welcome to the Wrestling Experience.
And I'm not here alone, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, no, no, no. She was here with me last night, ladies and gentlemen. She's Wisconsin's darling. She's always here with me every Thursday night. She is an absolute delight. I can't do the show without her. Please welcome the one and the only Starline.
Hey Earl, how are you?
I'm doing well, Sarah. How are you tonight?
I'm good. The week's almost
Yeah,
done, thank God.
yes, yes. This week has flown right out of the door.
Oh yeah.
Um, so we have a massive show tonight, and let's just dive right into it. By the way, everyone, Joey Wood was supposed to be here, but I'm not sure if he's going to show up or not. But if he does, he'll be always welcome. Um, so yeah, he'll be welcome. But let's talk about this. We're going to talk about some wrestling news first, and I want you to get your opinion on this. It's about Jim Ross and Missy Hyatt. Missy Hyatt revealed that she had dated Jim Ross a few years after his wife died. Jim Ross's wife died in 2017, as you all know, from a dramatic brain injury after she was driving to a local gym in her Vespa in Norman, Oklahoma. She wasn't wearing a helmet, and she suffered several skull fractures, and she died from those injuries. While appearing on Cafe de Rene, Wyatt asked if she would be willing to spend the night with Ross, and she gave him the opportunity to rock it up. This led to several. This was revealed at several dates in 2019, and she did not disclose how long that relationship lasts. She said, and I quote, "Honestly, me and Jim dated for a couple of years, and about 2 years after his wife passed, we dated for about 2 years. So yeah, I rocked his world, and he rocked mine."
Okay then.
Um, so what do you make of that?
Well, I mean, it's a relationship between two consenting adults. It's not like JR was cheating on his wife. I mean, she had passed away. So as
I
long
don't
as it
have any.
wasn't any, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, as long as it wasn't any bad stuff happening, like, more power to him, you know?
Right. Exactly. I don't have any issues with this whatsoever. I mean, okay. Oh,
I don't
okay.
know. It's almost like it's like you're waiting for something to happen,
Right,
and then
exactly.
like we're supposed to be impressed by this.
Right. Yeah. That's yeah. That.
Strange,
I
but
don't.
I heard it.
I. I don't get it. She came out with it today, and I said to myself, I said, okay, all right, all right. The two of you are slapping slippers, okay. All right. So.
Yamanaka. Maybe, maybe not. I guess we'll just never know.
What was that comment, sir?
He said, "Did JR give the best slobber knocker?"
Well, I'm not going there. I'm not gonna touch that. No,
No.
no, 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 no. I don't know about that one.
I just wonder, like, what she was thinking she was going to get out of talking about it. Like, who gives it? Who cares?
Right. I was just, you know what, I was reading it, and I thought of you, and I said I wonder what Sarah would think about this, because I sat there and I was reading it, and I said, all right, I'll bring it on the show. I'll bring it on the show, and I'll sit down with my co-pilot, and we'll drink over Earl Grey tea, and we'll discuss it.
Well, we can't do that.
Like, um, but anyway, again, I don't have any issue with it. I
No,
don't. It really has no significance or bearing on anything. It's not like
no.
no. I
It's not like he cheated on his wife. I mean, she had passed away, unfortunately. So, like
right,
I said, as long as it was a consensual relationship between two adults, okay.
right. All right. Well, we're gonna move on from that little story to this one. Mr. McMahon today was being
No,
now
hang
official
on
being
one
investigated.
second. This comment, this makes sense. So, JR is in the hospital right now.
Mm-hmm.
Why? It's kind of tasteless. This alien said what? Said all jokes aside,
And things.
isn't he in the hospital currently? If so, it's a bit tasteless to talk about while he can't respond. And that's very true. Like he can't even respond to it or address anything or confirm or deny or what have you because he's laying in a hospital bed right now.
Exactly, and I don't understand it. And I'm thank you for your
Who gives
comment.
a rip?
I'm right. I mean, the guy is suffering from the flu, so he couldn't breathe, so he had to get into the emergency room. So I'm quite sure he has no idea at this point that this story
Yeah,
is being all over the internet. I don't think he knows.
that very well could
And
be the case.
yeah, I don't think JR knows that she was talking about him like that and revealing stuff about him.
That's very true. Thank you,
Yeah.
Randy. That was very nice.
Yes, yes, Randy. Thank you very much. Um, so we're gonna have to wait and see what happens with that and what
I mean,
JR's
who knows? He
response is.
might not. He might not even address it at all.
He might not.
You know,
He might. He
like
might.
like I said, who gives a rip?
Right. Um,
It's like,
it is.
are we supposed to be impressed by it or something? I just think it's
Right. Right. I mean, what's up with the kiss and tell autobiography?
yeah. Sorry, people just need to mind their beeswax. They need to mind their own business.
Right. Exactly. So. The Wrestling News says here, and I quote, in a sealed filing today, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York presented materials to the federal court of a probe that has opened in the disgraced Mr. McMahon, World Entertainment, and John Laurinaitis. Okay,
Oh boy.
now If you all don't know the story, I'm not going to give you the whole synopsis of the story because we've already covered it here at the Wrestling Experience. You can go back and watch the archives of that. You can watch the archives. Now, I'm just going to give you a little snippet of what happened. Mr. McMahon was put out by the WWE because he had a sex thing with this woman named Janelle Grant. Grant alleges that Mr. McMahon asked her to do these sexual things with her and for her and with the other talent and with John Laurinaitis and with Brock Lesnar. He bought adult toys for her and all this. So Mr. McMahon had these bra and panty parties and he was very disgusting towards women. Well, this all happened and this all led to Mr. McMahon being ousted in the WWE and forced to resign. Now it looks like the Department of Justice is going to put the hammer on Mr. McMahon.
Holy
And
crap.
so the Department of Justice today announced that they are indeed going forward with this investigation.
Is that
And
like
they are,
federal?
yes, yes,
Oh no.
yes. The
Wow.
Department of Justice of New York City and the DOJ
Good.
of Washington is going to go after Mr. McMahon. This
Wow.
is not good.
I wonder if that's why he was selling his shares in WWE
He had
to have the money for
yeah,
legal
the
defense.
lawyer, yeah, the attorneys. He's going to need that money. And
God.
this is why he was in New York a couple of weeks ago. This was why. This was
Oh
why.
crap. That's a big development.
Yes.
I mean, that's a
So
big development. Wow.
so him and Laurinaitis and everyone else that was involved in this scandal is going to be in it eventually they're going to be indicted. What did Alien say?
He said, from what I read earlier, the department has a great win success rate. Vince needs a great lawyer. Yeah.
Yeah. This is not good because now the federal government is getting involved.
Like
And
I said this when, like, I remember when you first broke this news, because I think we had Hologram on the show, and
yes, we did.
we were talking about this at length, and I remember I said, if they file criminal charges against Vince McMahon, and he is found, goes through court and everything, a jury trial, and he is found guilty, if they sentence him even just to 10 years, that's basically a life sentence for somebody his age.
Right. Yeah.
There are people that get sentenced to more time for doing less.
Right. Exactly. And I'm going to tell you this much. There is a group of attorneys that are in Chicago, and they set up this website for any woman who was assaulted by Mr. McMahon, who was done wrong by Mr. McMahon, to come to them and then let them build the case.
Oh,
So
so
now
they're
it
going to
looks
turn this into a class action lawsuit then.
right, exactly. So I'm going to assume all of these attorneys from the New York to Chicago are going to join forces along with the federal government to bring them down.
Sure. Oh my goodness.
I am quite sure this is exactly what's going to happen. And there's no way that Mr. McMahon can get out of this because
No.
those text messages, which I am not going to repeat and rehash.
Ooh, they're very
They were very graphic in detail. And I know some of you out there came back to me on Twitter and they were like, why did you read this? Why did you see you're against women? It's not about me being against women. It's about, I was trying to do a story. I was trying to bring out a story.
You were
That's what I
reporting
was
a
doing.
story. You were reporting a story.
Exactly. I'm not demeaning a woman. I'm not demeaning anybody. I'm not demeaning. I was.
I honestly think if I felt that Earl was like that, would I be doing as many shows with him as I do? Do you think Denise would be here, or Tati, or Martina? No.
No,
That's
no.
some of the dumbest crap I've ever heard.
I'm not demeaning any woman. I was just trying to do my job. I'm trying to do my job. I'm trying to bring out a story for everyone to listen to, and that you can comment on it, but not comment like that. Not comment like that. So when you all came at me like that, I was angry because I was like, listen, I read those text messages because I had to bring out the story.
You were
It's
reporting on it, and it's not like you
right.
were like fabricating anything. You were legit reading, and it's what was reported in like the like national news. I mean, this isn't just a wrestling news story. This is national news.
Right.
So,
This right. Exactly. And it came from the Wall Street Journal.
mm-hmm.
It came from the Wall Street Journal. And that is what I was trying to explain to you all.
Yep.
I wasn't demeaning any woman. I wasn't like Sarah brilliantly said. Do you think Sarah would be sitting here now, sitting here with me on the wrestling experience every Thursday night, sitting here with me, wasting her time on me? No.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
No. And do you think I would be lasting this long on the hardcore sports if the female members on here felt the same way? No,
Exactly.
no.
I swear. There's some
I would
people
have
that just they're not happy unless they're like trying to be mean to somebody else.
right. So you guys are barking up the wrong tree. You're barking up the wrong tree. I did my job, and I did it in a tasteful way, in a respectful way.
You were just reading exactly what was written by the Wall Street Journal. You did nothing
Right.
wrong. I told you this
Um.
back then
Right.
when you told me
Yeah,
about this
exactly.
back then. I
Exactly.
said you did nothing wrong. So
Exactly.
to apologize to anybody. If people don't like it, then they can go not watch.
Right. Exactly.
No reason to be a
Oh,
jerk.
exactly.
He said, so Alien says, hey dude, he says, reporting slash covering a story, you have to give as much details as you can. The story itself was shocking, but you done great covering it the way you did. Well, thank you. That was very nice.
Well, that was a good idea, Randy. Thank you so much for that comment.
That
Thank
was
you.
very
Yes, and I look back
great.
at it. Right. I look back at it. I look back at the footage and everything, and I know I did the job correctly. I know I did the job. Those text messages were gross. They were gross.
Like I said, they're just crass. They just, I don't know, like give you like heebie jeebies. Like,
Yeah, they were gross. They
like
were
all those
they
said to her, like whether
right.
wrong or indifferent, like it yeah, not good. I mean, and you can't really dispute that either because it is in written format. Like it is right there, time stamped and everything. Like it's not like it's hearsay where I tell you something and then you tell Mitch.
Right.
It's not, it's totally different. This was in written format, time stated and time stamped and all of that. It's pretty damning evidence.
And it's not, and not only that, but she also screenshotted.
Yeah,
She
exactly. It's like
screenshotted.
time stamped all of it. Like
Right?
it
She screenshotted, folks. And when I was reading it verbatim for what it was screenshotted.
it just, yeah, it was not good. I mean, I am very surprised that they are, I mean, I'm glad they are, but I'm very surprised they're taking this as far as they are by actually doing actual criminal charges against him. Because I'm going to be perfectly honest with everyone. I was very, because I remembered that that's another one of the things that we had discussed when you originally brought this story out a while back. And
Hmm.
I remember I'm like, I was very doubtful that they were going to do criminal charges because Vince McMahon has gotten away with everything else, like the steroid trials, and when they initially had him retire back in 2022, like I was very, and he's done other stuff. Like I was very skeptical that they were going to pursue criminal charges. But you know what? If they got the evidence and stuff, and they can prove without a shadow of a doubt, then gotta let the criminal justice system do its work.
I agree. I agree. I agree.
I
I
mean, and even
totally.
if, especially if somebody is innocent of something that they're being, um, brought up on charges, accused of doing something they didn't
Right.
do. Absolutely, you've got to let the criminal justice system do. It's a process. Like, Vince McMahon will get his day in court to defend himself, or his attorneys defend him. But yeah,
This
I'm
is
glad
this is
though
this
that
is
they're bringing up charges. This is huge.
this is enormous.
This is
And
huge.
this is the latest thing that is happening now with this case. And as I said before, I'll say it again. The lawyers from Chicago, the lawyers from New York, and now they have the people from Washington, the DOJ. This isn't good.
No,
This is
that's, I
good.
mean, that's a big deal if you got the actual feds in on it, pursuing or investigating the case. I wonder, like, what I'm curious about now that we're talking about this, I'm curious if they have had anybody else come forward, with, experiences or anything like that. Like, I'm very curious to know, like, how bad this got, how far it went, how long it went on for. I mean, I'm
Well,
very
there's a
curious
lot.
to know.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you, Sarah. But you know something? Here's the thing. Here's another piece of this puzzle. Ashley Vazzaro. Ashley Vazzaro took her own life because of what Mr. McMahon did to her. She was raped during the tribute of the troops in Kuwait, and Mr. McMahon and Stephanie McMahon and John Laurinaitis, how they treated her was absolutely horrifying.
They didn't do anything for her. They didn't help her.
No,
They
no,
just
and the
basically told her to
way,
suck it up and deal with it, is what Mr. McMahon,
yeah,
equivalent of
yeah,
what he said.
yeah. And then the
Terrible.
way he was talking to her about it, it
Yeah.
made it seem like it was her fault.
Oh yeah.
That she deserved it, and that's the way it came off. That's the way
Hmm.
it came off. You don't talk to someone like that who is traumatized like that and has mental illness. You don't talk to somebody like that. That's not how you deal with that.
No.
That's not how you deal with that. That's a wrong thing to do. You think that poor woman wanted to hear that in the office? Do you think she wanted to sit there and listen to that? The way you were just over glossing it?
Yeah. That's
Mm.
just terrible.
Um, uh, um, and anyway, so we're gonna keep on with the story, and I'm gonna keep focusing on this story, and I'm gonna bring out more stuff in the light in the dark. Um, because apparently what's happening now is that Brock Lesnar's suspension is probably going to get lifted, from what I'm hearing, and the WWE wants to welcome him back to the WWE. It's from what I heard.
Did
Mm.
they do some kind of investigation and prove that he was not involved, or
Well, I don't know what's going to happen now, because if this story comes out and he was involved because they said he was involved in this, and he has denied that he was involved in it. But I am quite sure somebody, whoever is left in that Mr. McMahon era who still works with Triple H and Endeavor, I'm quite sure something's going to come out, and
Sure.
that will put the nail in Mr. Lesnar's coffin about returning, because no fans. I'm sorry, but no fans. You can't sit there and tell me that you want Lesnar back after what you listened to, after what he did
That is
to the women, and apparently they said it's not only her he did it to. He did it to several different women.
oh my God.
So I wouldn't welcome him back in the WWE if you paid me.
No, I don't. I don't think that's a
No,
good idea. That's very
no,
risky. That
no,
no. I'm
no. If I was Triple
unless
H
it's
and Endeavor,
proven that he didn't have anything to do with it or
right?
what have you, that's a completely different story. But I think until it's proven that he didn't have anything to do with it, then I just think it's too much of a risk. It's too risky.
Just
That's my
preach it,
feeling on
Sarah.
it.
Preach it, preach
It's
it.
too risky. Your women's division, it's kind of fallen by the wayside. We talk about this all the time. It's kind of
Yeah,
fallen by the wayside. Their women's division needs help. Do you really think that you're going to help promote your women's division and make all of these women wrestlers feel valued by having
no,
somebody like Brock Lesnar around with those types of things being said? Like, you need to do your due diligence, and it would be the same thing if it was the roles were reversed and it was a woman doing it to a man. Same thing. Like,
right?
no,
Same thing, same
no,
thing,
no, it
the
doesn't
same
matter.
thing.
Yeah, that sounds really fishy to me. Like, I don't know if I exactly believe they're going to ask if they're going to have him come back.
I don't think so. As I said before, and I'll say it again, I don't want him back in the locker room. He serves no value whatsoever. He serves no value whatsoever if you bring him back. And if you bring him back, you're just like Tony Khan. You're a fool.
Yeah.
You're a fool.
Okay, so Alien says the Southern District of New York has filed, oh, this is interesting, has filed a notice of appearance for Vince McMahon and Janelle Grant. This usually doesn't
Hmm.
happen unless the SDNY is confident they can convict someone. Oh, wow. The
Yes.
next comment, it says they have a 95% conviction rating.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Of course. Yeah. Well, I agree with his assessment.
Well, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Don't do illegal stuff and you don't have to worry about going to prison. This isn't just like county lockup for a couple of months. This is
Right.
federal
Exactly.
prison. He's looking at
Yeah.
federal prison time.
Right.
Yeah, that
And,
man.
uh, and, uh, and yeah. Go
That's
ahead, Sarah. Finish it.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
just.
understand what would possess somebody to do something like that. Like, I'm talking like
It's
the whole thing. What would possess
yeah.
anybody to do something like that to another person?
Yeah.
Multiple.
Yeah. And the way he used to size up the women in the locker room, and the executive the women executives, the way he looked at them like he wanted to snack them up or whatever. I don't know.
Why do you think
He
they had
was
bra
just
and panty
creepy.
matches? So why do you think they had bra and panty matches back in the day? Because Vince McMahon, that's the kind of stuff he wanted to see.
He was just creepy. He was just
Gross.
so he was gross. He was creepy. And I don't have respect for
Wrestling.
anybody like that. I don't
I
have
mean,
anybody with.
no, no. I mean, we watch wrestling for wrestling. We don't want to be seeing women or men prancing around and scantily clad and all this craziness. Like, no, that's just nuts.
And he's just gross.
Yeah,
He's gross.
it's nuts.
So we're gonna follow this story closely, and if any more stuff comes out, I'll bring it to the wrestling experience. I'll bring it out, because inquiring minds want to know, about this story, because he needs to go to prison. He needs to go to prison. Him and Laurinaitis, they're gross.
Yeah,
And anyone else, and like Sarah said, I'm sorry to cut you off, Sarah, but like Sarah said a while back, anybody who was complicit in this, and you knew about it, you should be terminated and prosecuted all at the same token.
yep. Bye, Felicia.
Yep.
See ya.
Wouldn't want to be ya.
Oh my god.
um.
The whole thing is just nuts to me. It's just nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
Like
get
I
it.
said,
I don't get it.
I
What would possess one person or a couple of people to treat other people that way? Just demeaning and just awful. Just awful. And I really hope that anybody that had this, that was a part of this whole thing, I really hope they're getting, like counseling help and stuff like that, because I can't imagine, like Ashley Mazzaro, I cannot imagine how awful that was for her.
yeah. I mean, again, like I said before, I say it again. The way he treated it and the way it came across was totally wrong.
Yeah.
Was totally wrong.
Yeah, because he didn't want it to ruin the WWE's relationship with the military. Because he wanted future opportunities for the tribute to the troops thing. And I'm like, really? So you're going to subject other people to this kind of treatment? What the hell? It's awful. It's awful. The whole thing is just grimy and gross and just disgustingly awful.
I just it just makes me wonder. It just makes me wonder if you ever go into an office, and not all men and women are like that. No, let me
No.
just say that. Not all men and women are like that. Just this one.
Yeah. Good.
Um. So the next story I have for you is Chad Gable. Chad Gable's contract is expired as of tomorrow. His
Oh.
contract his contract is expired. Now the question is, is he going to sit down with Triple H and sign a new deal? Or what's the story? Because he can't perform on Raw without a contract.
I can't imagine
Um,
that they wouldn't re-sign him. Same thing, like, and I'll echo the same thing for Becky Lynch. I can't imagine that they're not going to re-sign him. Both of
no,
them.
because here's the thing: Becky Lynch lost in the steel cage on Monday night. She was dejected in the middle of the ring. The cage was being raised. The show was over. The cameras were off, and you could see she looked dejected and exhausted and burnt. Um, she left the arena. They said in a private car. She left in the car, and people were asking her when she was leaving what her status was on what she's gonna. She didn't answer any questions.
No, mind your business.
She didn't answer any questions. She just got in the car and she left.
Good. She's
She
burned
got in the
out.
car. Yeah, you can see, you can tell.
Or how about like the whole thing with Becky Lynch? How about the fact that she might want to take a break and, I don't know, spend time with her freaking family?
Right.
Jesus, people are just like obsessed over this, and it's like, calm down. Like,
Right.
if there's news, I'm sure it will be reported on. But sitting
Right.
there, hemming and hawing about it and demanding answers, really? Last time I checked, she didn't have to answer anybody.
Right. Exactly. So, she left the arena.
Yeah,
She left the arena in the car, and she went home.
good for her. I mean,
She
she
went
wasn't. I
home.
said this the other night. I said she was supposed to be taking a very long break after WrestleMania to be with Seth because they knew he was having surgery on his knee and whatnot. She was supposed to be on break, but then Rhea Ripley got injured, and she had to kind of pick up the slack, so to speak, from Rhea being out because she had to carry the ball, you know. So
Right.
that's why they put the title on Becky Lynch. I said this when it happened. Everybody was all up in arms that Liv Morgan didn't win. I'm like, they're putting the title on Becky Lynch because she is the safest option at this point.
Right. So she became a transitional champion, and they gave it to Liv
Yeah.
because
Well, she's great.
Becky Lynch went. Yeah. Thank you, Sarah.
I mean,
And yeah.
she's entitled to do that.
Yep. So Becky Lynch had a meeting with Liv and Triple H, and she said, "I need to drop the strap to Liv."
Yeah.
So that was the plan they came up with at the Saudi show.
Yeah.
That was the plan. That was the plan, and they came up with it. The three of them agreed, mutually agreed, and henceforth we got into Monday Night Raw. That was her final match in the WWE because the contract was expiring at midnight, and that was it. But then you all got on the internet. Oh, she needs to go to AEW. No, she don't.
Or she's going. I was
Yeah.
reading people actually saying, "Oh, we're gonna see her on Dynamite."
No, we're not.
No,
Nope.
you're not. It's like, calm
No.
your tits. God,
No.
people are
No.
just they are ridiculous. They are ridiculous about this stuff.
I
It's like,
love
oh
I love my
my
co-pilot. I love it. I love it. I love
God,
it.
it's ridiculous. It's like, oh my God, calm down. It's
She
not
takes
affecting
those
you. It's not affecting your income, your livelihood, your family. It's
right,
entertainment, guys. Like,
right,
it's only serious to Becky Lynch and WWE. It's not
right.
affecting any way, shape, or form. So just
Exactly.
take it down a couple notches. But
So
yeah, I doubt we're going to see her in AEW. Everybody needs to get that out of their heads.
right.
I see her being in WWE, like a lifer in WWE. Same thing with
Yeah.
Seth. I see both
Yeah.
of them in WWE.
Well, Seth had already signed an extension.
Oh yeah, but I'm
He
saying
already
even if
agreed.
even whether he did or didn't, I didn't foresee him not signing a new deal.
No.
Because they're they're gonna both be in WWE for life. Like
Right.
maybe towards the end of their career do something different, but
Yeah. I could totally see both of them after their wrestling careers over. Both of them could work behind the scenes of WWE and do something very special for the company. And they don't have to do it
absolutely.
on a full time. They don't have to do it on a full time basis. They can just come in, do their jobs, and go home and go behind the scenes and get out of the arena, and get out of town,
Absolutely. But
and
in the
put their
same thing
two.
is said for Chad Gable. I don't foresee him not.
No, 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 no.
And I really like the fact that Triple H doesn't like talk about stuff because he doesn't want things to get leaked to the press. So
No,
I like that because like I said, I've said this a few times tonight. It's nobody's business. It's
no,
not. So
no, absolutely.
I like that he doesn't talk about it, leak stuff to the press or the dirt sheets or whoever. Like I like it.
I like it too. I like the way he handles his Triple H handles his business. You see, everybody and their mom was up there upset. Oh, how come he didn't leave? How come he didn't say anything about the Queen and the King and the Ring? Well, look, listen. You don't need to put all your cards on the table. You don't need to do that.
It was a nice surprise.
Don't you like surprises? I love surprises. I don't know about you, but I liked it when he announced it. Uh,
Well, like I said, I'm like, it's very nice to know that they're going to get more than just a crown and a scepter. That there's actually stakes to what what they're doing. So I
right.
I thought it was fantastic, and you told people right away. You waited until the last minute. Who cares? Either way, you found
So
out. you
yeah,
know.
exactly. And I had no issue with it.
No, neither did I. I thought it was great.
And you did a great job on the telecast, by the way.
Oh,
You
thanks.
know,
It was
again,
fun.
you always, you can turn the world on with your smile. Anyway, you know,
Thanks, Earl.
you're
Well, it
welcome.
makes
I
me
mean,
smile. We all have fun when we do these live streams and just interact
yes,
with each other. We can joke with each other. We can be serious when we need to.
right, right.
Um, if we're discussing something serious, but yeah, I mean, it was great, and I thought that was like the perfect like 5 matches. They had a couple of like Saudi related commercials or ads in there,
Right.
but
Mm.
I thought that was great. It was like even with the
I
pre-show, it was like under 4 hours. I'm like,
right.
this is fantastic. And then we got Double
So
or Nothing, and it was like, oh my
right.
god,
An epilogue. But we're gonna
the
discuss
show
with
that
both shows.
never ends.
We're gonna discuss both shows later on as we go rolling along here. Um, but again, Sarah is brilliant at what she does, and we love her here at the Hardcore Sports. By the way, Sarah and Tati and Denise. All of them will be at the Queen of the Ring, and which will happen on June 11th. So please tune in for that. Tune in for that. Every time me and Sarah come together, I always miss her. Even if we space her out, she's always welcome here on the mothership, and she knows that I've always beam her aboard every time.
Beam
So,
me up.
um,
I always say, let's move some furniture.
exactly. Me and Sarah will be back with Collision. We're going to do Collision together on Saturday, June 22. So don't forget that Saturday, June 22, we're going to do Collision, me and Sarah. We're going to be doing that. We're going to do that telecast. I hope you will join us. And Sarah will be joining us also for the Clash of the Castle #2. It'll be me. It'll be Sarah. It'll be Mitch. And he's got the roundup. He's got the roundup. We'll all bring you the Clash
Oh,
of the Castle. We're gonna do the Clash of the Castle. We're gonna be on the air. We're gonna be on the air at 12:15. We'll be on the air at 12:15 Eastern Daylight Standard Time. We're gonna be on the air at 12:15 again for the Clash of the Castle. I can't
that's what
wait from
I like about
Glasgow.
these international pay-per-views. It's like they're on a little bit earlier in the day, so that makes it not, you know, it's not so bad that you're not sitting
Right,
all night.
right, exactly. And then just 3 weeks. 3 weeks, guys, 3 weeks, we're going to have the Forbidden Door. The Forbidden Door, #3. The Forbidden Door will happen on Sunday, June the 30th in Long Island, New York. And that is going to be off the hook. Yeah.
That's only 4 weeks away.
Is it
It's been going
four,
on for
four,
a while. For some reason,
four?
I always have thought Forbidden Door was in July for some reason. I don't know
the,
why.
the Forbidden Door will happen on June the 30th. Um, and we're going to discuss Dynamite as well tonight. So we talked about the wrestling news. We talked about everything else. So now we're going to go to AEW country, and we're going to talk about this Dynamite. Um, so let's just get into it. Dynamite last night took place last night at the Kia Fabulous Forum in Inglewood, California, and we had a very special tribute to Jeffrey last night. I want to thank you all for tuning in to last night's telecast. We had a great tribute to Jeffrey. I want to thank Sarah again for hopping on and getting on the show last night. It was nice to see her again on Dynamite, and it was a lot of fun having her around. Um, yeah, and we talked about Jeffrey in length. So um, let's just go first. First, let me ask her. So, what did you make of Dynamite last night? What did you make of it?
Um, I like the fact that they continued on in the stories and in storylines, and they continued in. I'm trying to think the best way to say this. So, like the stuff we saw on the pay-per-view, they continued it. They continued some of those things on Dynamite. So I thought that was very good. I really like that. It's showing continuity. It's showing there's cohesiveness to it. Is it Was it a perfect show? No, it was not. But I felt like it was a step in the right direction.
Okay.
So
I'm going to agree with your assessment. The show was good for what it was. It was
yeah.
solid for what it was.
Yeah.
I had no issues with what we saw. Um, so let's just talk about this. Mercedes um, championship celebration. What did you think of it?
Boring. She still can't
Yep.
do a promo. She couldn't do promos in WWE. She definitely can't do promos in AEW.
No.
Like, she is not good on the microphone at all.
No. No.
I'm sorry. And there's probably people out there that think she's great and that she is good on the mic, and that's fine. But my opinion is that she's just not very good on the mic. She really needs practice. She should be practicing her promo stuff. Like, she really should. Because you built up, TK built her up so much. Oh, we got Mercedes, blah 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 blah, and we don't see her wrestle for like 2 months after she comes on.
Right.
Then she finally, her first match is a championship match, and she actually wins the championship.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's not sitting right with me, and I don't like the fact. I still do not like the fact that Willow Nightingale, they made her a transitional champion. I do not like that.
No. No. A lot of people were not. I wasn't happy with it either.
No.
I wasn't a fan of it. I would have liked Willow to had a long title reign.
Yeah. I mean, and I was disappointed. Okay, so Sky Blue is who attacked Mercedes. Really?
Right.
Like, it was just very, like you say, very lackluster.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
lackluster. I was disappointed. I'm like, really? You could have made it that it was like a good idea would have been have it be Statlander, and Statlander attacked Mercedes, so Mercedes would think it was Willow, and then that's why she took it out on her in the pay per view or something. You know what I mean?
Right. You're right.
But,
Right.
but
Right.
Sky Blue, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very disappointed with that. Very disappointed.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that assessment. I was disappointed with it. I was not a fan of it.
No.
I was not a fan of it at all. Of the transitional thing, I was not a fan of it. Um, the celebration, like Summer said, was. lackluster. It lacked a lot of punch and vim and vigor. Yeah, it lacked very very flat one note.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, on an entertainment level, Sarah,
Mm,
uh,
I don't know. I didn't find it very entertaining. I'd give it like a 2.
all right, I'm gonna give this a minus one. Right, I'm gonna give this promo a minus one. Uh, yeah. Coach
Raphael.
Ed, Raphael, how are you? Buenos dias.
Raphael.
Um, yeah, the promo gets a minus one. I'm sorry, but this promo just
Yeah.
didn't grab my attention. Okay, so then we had for the championship, it was Sky Blue taking on Mercedes. The match was all right. The match was fun. Again, the crowd was dead.
Well, I mean, come on. She just won the title on Sunday. They are not. I mean, come on. That's why I always think it's so stupid to be doing matches right after somebody gets the title belt after they get the title belt. I always think it's stupid to do that because realistically, they're not dropping the title. They're not.
Yeah,
It's predictable and it's boring.
right.
And considering the fact, and I was thinking about this last night too. So considering the fact the show last night was in Los Angeles, I was very surprised they didn't sell more tickets. Like there wasn't more people there. Los Angeles is a humongous, humongous, humongous city.
It is.
Like, really, you guys can't even sell out in Los Angeles? That's a
Nope.
problem. That is a big
Yeah,
problem. Big
that's a
problem.
huge problem. That's a huge problem. Um, yeah, the crowd at Inglewood was just they were not feeling it.
No, not at
They
all.
were not. No, they were not feeling this match at all.
On their hands. It's like they're sitting on their hands, not clapping.
Yeah, nope. There was no reaction to it. And I'll say this again, and I keep saying this over and over. When you don't have crowd participation when you're watching something on TV, or if you're sitting here and watching it live, it takes the fun out of it. It really does. It really does because it's like, why am I investing my time in watching this? Like, really? Why am I calling this match? What's the purpose?
Yeah.
Can we skip over this? I'm sorry, Sarah. Go ahead. What were you saying?
No, no. I was gonna say they could have just done the little celebration thing and left it at that. You know,
Um. Yeah.
you didn't need to have a match out of it. But
Will I want to see this again? No.
no,
No.
no.
No. No. No. Um. On an entertainment level, Sarah.
I give it a 2, just like
The
the
segment.
celebration thing. Yeah,
I'm gonna go down the dial and give this match a one.
yeah. It was just
This. It was. It
predictable.
was. Yeah, right. Yeah. The match gets a one. I'm sorry. The match gets a one. Swerve Strickland took on Kill Switch. Interesting match. Interesting. Swerve Strickland got his revenge when he played Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Prince Nana was dancing with scissors. That was funny. That just
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my
right.
god.
So Swerve got his revenge by snipping off the hair of Kill Switch.
Did you notice? And I didn't say anything about it last night because I wanted to make sure what I was seeing is accurate. So I rewatched, like, I think it was on YouTube. Um, when Swerve pulled his Luchasaurus's braid out, it was on elastic. That wasn't real hair. It was like kind of like
Oh,
remember Kane. Watch it seriously. Look it up. So remember Kane's old mask, how it had hair attached, long hair attached to it. I think it's something similar
oh,
because he pulled the braid out, and you could see this big strap of black like thick, big strap of
oh,
black elastic. I'm like, that's not even his real hair.
oh
Like,
my
what the hell is this? Like, what is going on? And I didn't say anything last night. I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to say anything. I just want this to be done. Like, let's move on to the next thing.
Oh my God.
It just was like, wait a minute.
Oh, and you see,
It was just ridiculous to me. I was like,
I'm
wait a minute.
gonna I'm
Is
gonna
that
tell
real
you
hair?
something. I'm gonna tell you all something. I'm gonna tell you all something, and this is a testament to everybody. If you are going to do a prop, okay, if you're going to use a prop, this is how you use a prop properly. You interwove. Now, if you're gonna wear a mask with a fake hair in it, what they usually do is they use this thing called a ball cap glue. And what that is that it's attached to your regular hair. But it does come out after you wash it. You all you have to do is just go in the back and just go underneath the sink and wash it out. And then they glue it onto the hair. They don't use straps or bungee cord or anything like that. To
It was so weird. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh,
Oh, so so you
I
could
couldn't
have used
believe it.
you could have
I couldn't believe it. I'm like,
I
no,
mean
no.
you could have used you could I mean you are in California, the land of movie land. You could have used that, and it's not that expensive. All you had to do was just tell Luchasaurus, okay, we're gonna put this attached to your mask tonight, and yeah, we have to rehearse this because
We'll figure out a way to do it.
right, and what we're gonna do is we'll make it look like cornrow, and then let it hang, and then let him just snip it off. And then we'll just wash the regular hair and then take. Oh my God. You all are bad actors. Oh my
Isn't it
gosh.
terrible?
Well, based upon what my co pilot, very much so, I have to call her Columbo.
No, it's just I actually recorded the because sometimes I can't watch the shows live, so I do DVR them, and I'll watch them later in the night or a day later or what have you. And I'm like, oh wait, that's right, I recorded the show, so I fast forwarded it to that part, and sure enough, he pulls out the braid, and it's like a big thick piece of elastic, like this thick. The elastic is this thick that the hair was attached to, and then there was a smaller, like thinner piece of elastic that like must have gone around his head or something, like a headband, for that braid to hang on the side of his head. I was like, oh my god, this is just
so,
bad.
so what you're telling
So
me is
bad.
that they use two scrunchies, as they call
Yeah,
them.
it's almost like a headband.
Right. It's just like if I
Like he's
went there and I
pulling it
took,
out. I'm like, what the hell is that? What is that hair? Is that hair? And I paused it as you were calling the match. I paused it, and I couldn't quite tell. I'm like, I think that's a headband or something. But like I said, it was hanging on the side of his head. But yeah, I just thought that was weird.
oh, good night, nurse.
Doing.
I don't have any. I don't know what to say about that. I
I
don't.
mean, I thought the match was all right.
The match was fine. The match was fine. You botched the hair thing, but that was fine.
It's just now watch. Now he's gonna carry around that braid like it's some kind of a trophy or something.
Right.
Okay, got it.
You got the prompt. You got the prop. Okay, good. Okay.
Just
Um, absolutely. Just I've
just
never
so strange to me. I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. But whatever. I mean,
that's
granted, I
fine.
wouldn't want somebody to cut my hair for real either. So,
No, no. So on an entertainment level, so
mm, like I said, it wasn't amazing. It wasn't horrible. It was.
right,
I thought that it was so so. I definitely liked the all of the kicks that Swerve was doing to Luchasaurus when Luchasaurus was on the outside of the ring. Um,
right,
Prince Nana got a little involved when he took the chair from Luchasaurus. I like that. So
right.
yeah, I give it a 6. It was all right.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on the same wavelength, and this gets a 6,
Yeah,
but the hair thing gets a 0.
wasn't horrible.
Um,
Yeah, the hair thing gets a -1.
right, right. It gets a 0. You didn't do that right. Yeah, you didn't do that right. You failed, and you should be in jail.
Oh,
Anyway,
honest.
uh,
Yeah, this is just weird. Oh my goodness.
TV time with Chris Jericho. Um, so what did you make of this segment?
Boring. Nobody
Yep.
cares. Nobody gives a crap. This whole
Ye-
learning I said it last night. This whole learning tree gimmick thing. It's dumb. It's so stupid. I mean, you had Brian Keith come out during the pay-per-view and screw over Shibata and Hook, and for what you had him come out last night. Like, do you honestly think that this guy's going to make any difference? No, no.
And I'm going to tell you this much. Exactly. I'll tell you this much. That set that they had in the ring, it reminded me of Charlie Brown,
It did. It
especially
looked
the
like
tree.
something to be on like a little kid preschool show on Nickelodeon or something.
Right, right.
And did you
I
notice
was,
the setup was very much the same as it was when he had that Talk is Jericho show in WWE?
yes,
Garrotron
yes,
3000, the TV, and
right,
he was
exactly.
in the same spot. He had the podium in the same spot, and I'm like, you can't think of something else?
Right.
Yeah, no, no.
Um, yeah, so him and Big Bill, Big Bill was with Ricky Starks, as I call him Kraft. If you all don't
Oh,
know
dear.
why I call him Kraft, I'll give you a history lesson again, just to make sure that you all listen. You see, when you take grilled cheese, okay, and you melt it on the bread, okay, and it comes down to a point, that's his honker.
Oh, God.
That's a that's a honker. That's a honker. Yeah.
No, no.
Right, right. It knows. If you all don't know what honker is. And we're going to talk about honkitis because a lot of wrestlers had that problem. Anyway.
Yes.
Um, so the segment was ridiculous. Hook comes down and he comes down with Samoa Joe. Now I don't know what this situation is with him and Samoa Joe. I don't know if Joe is turning face or what. Mm. or is he going to screw Hook? I don't know.
I
Inquiring
don't know
minds want to
why.
know.
Like what does he get out of screwing over Hook? Like he doesn't get anything out of it. Like
Right. So I'm okay. So then I'm going to take choice number B. I'm going to take choice number B. He's probably turning face, and he's going to join up with. He's going to have Hook's back. Um, Jericho was in the ring with Big Bill, and okay, on an entertainment level, what Sarah just?
I give it
I'm
a
gonna
nine
go to
out
my
of 10.
okay.
Did not like it. This
Uh,
gimmick needs to
oh,
go away, and it needs to go away with a quickness. It is not
yeah,
hitting for, I don't think, anyone.
yeah. I like that. I like the way she said with the quickness. I haven't heard that in a long time. So when she brings something out, it's like disco classics. Any, yeah, we're gonna trip the lights ending. It reminds me of the time that when we were doing the dynamite, and I said, "Oh, he had techno eyes." You remember? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen,
Oh my god, I still remember
I'm tripping on acid. Anyway.
Oh my, oh my god, that's so funny.
Greg John, how are you? Oh, jeez. If you miss a day, you miss a lot. Here are the um. So Rocky Romero took on John Moxley. The match was fine. The match was fine. Moxley is a tough like a $2 steak. Like I said. Uh, he is a whirling dervish. He is. He's a whirling dervish. He's tough like $2 steak and he's a whirling dervish. But he's got one arm because his left arm was compromised. But he was still able to defeat Mr. Romero in the match. And I had no issues with the match. Moxley went there and was just gouging and biting at Romero like he was a kernel of corn. And then he had no butter and salt in that jammy. Yeah, that was an issue. That was a that was an issue. Well, that's what he was doing, and that's what I had to call. I had to call it because he was eating. I had to call it like that. I had to call what I saw. Um, I was expecting him to. You ever see those trick bibs and they come out with the big bib and all of that? That's what I thought he was gonna wear, and because after he was well anyway. um, I'm sure that my co-pilot will never forget this night. No, she won't. No, she won't.
No.
No, she won't.
I just don't understand like why this match is happening. Did they give any kind of explanation?
No, I didn't get an explanation as to why this match happened. There was no explanation for it. Um,
Weird.
and he attacked Moxley the entire night. He attacked him the entire night in the match, and Moxley went over in the match, and he went over Romero. So, on an entertainment level, uh, what do we give this match at an entertainment level? What number fits?
Um,
Uh,
like I said, it wasn't great. It wasn't awful. It was just kind of there. It's like they needed to fill up
right.
a slot with a match, and this is what we got.
Yeah, I think that's. I think that
So,
was a filler.
so yeah, kind of filler, like a filler match. I'd give it a 6. It was okay. It was there.
Okay, so I'm going to be on the same wavelength and give it a 6 as well. The match was fine for what it was. They matched well in the ring. It was all right. Moxley just it was something else. Don Callis calls out Orange Cassidy. The segment was okay.
Coming a mile away.
Right. He wanted him to join the Don Callis family. And Stokely Hathaway and, of course, Chris Statlander came out. And then Trent Beretta got involved. And he busted open Orange Cassidy.
Shocking.
Yeah. All of this
They've
happened.
been doing the same crap for like the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Right. All of this came out with, and then Don Callis was stomping on Orange Cassidy, and then he hurt himself.
Oh darn!
He
Shocking.
hurt him. He hurt himself with those glitter shoes.
Maybe he could have transported himself back to the doctor.
Well, maybe because there is no place like the locker room, folks. There is no place like the locker room. And if you remember last week, follow the yellow brick road. Follow, follow, follow. Follow, 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 follow. Anyway. Well, I'm sorry, but yeah, just to give you a rehash of what happened last. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said,
Uh,
I called this a couple weeks ago. I said there is no way Orange Cassidy is turning heel and joining the Don Callis family. I guarantee you they're gonna play some kind of a trick and they're really going to recruit Trent Beretta. What ended up happening? That is exactly what
and,
happened.
and that's exactly what happened, folks. That's exactly. Trent Beretta is now part of the Don Callis family.
Yeah.
All right. The Elite celebration that went at Double or Nothing. And they addressed the TNT title. Now, if you all don't know what happened at Double or Nothing, Adam Copeland broke his leg in the match. He broke his tibia, snapped it in half when he landed on Malachi Black. He was supposed to land back first on Malachi Black on the table. Instead, he landed feet first.
It didn't even look like he landed. His feet were nowhere near being on the table. It's like he just jumped off the cage.
Right.
That's what it looked like to me.
And when he said he landed, the bone in his leg split. And it's a good thing that Gangrel came out of the ring, out of the hole to help him, so that he could finish the match. And he retained the title. He retained the title, but then reality set in. The X-rays were shown to him. The MRI was shown to him. Now he has to have surgery. And he's going to be on the shelf for a while. So the TNT title had to be vacated. So the Bucks came out and they were celebrating, and then they were going to put the belt on Jack Perry, but who came out and interrupted the proceedings, Mr. Christopher Daniels.
Good.
Christopher Daniels revealed that he is the interim vice president, and there's going to be a tournament to determine the new TNT champion. And the finals will happen at the Forbidden Door. I don't have an issue with it.
Yeah.
Sarah, what did you make of the whole thing?
Well, I'm glad they, you got to figure they didn't really fire Christopher Daniels. I mean, and I'm really glad they're not just handing it over to Jungle Boy, Jungle Jackass, as I call him. Um, that's what I call him. He's a jackass from the jungle. So he's Jungle Jackass to me. Um, so I'm glad they're not just handing it. And I know a lot of people like on social media are saying, "Oh, it fits perfectly in line with their new heel gimmick," and I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like that's ridiculous. It's stupid. So I'm glad they're at least doing something, but I can still see them putting the title on Jungle Jackass.
Mm-hmm.
I can still see it happening.
Exactly.
But I am very happy that they said nobody is allowed at ringside. Nobody can interfere in the matches like they did with the Continental Classic. I'm very, very, very happy about that. So that'll be
Right.
nice.
So the vacated title will be up for grabs at the Forbidden Door, and we're gonna find out who's gonna go into the tournament, and we're gonna find out who is going to be in this mini marathon for the title. All right. So on an entertainment level, so what number?
Um, Again, it was okay. I give it a 6.
All right. I'm going to give this match a 5. This segment a 5. It wasn't a match. I'm sorry, it was a segment. This segment gets a 5. Yeah, it's a 5. I'm not a fan of the elite. I'm not a fan of them, and it was okay for what it was. All right, we're up to the last thing on Dynamite, and that was the Gauntlet match. Sarah's favorite wrestler, Will Ospreay, wins the Gauntlet match.
Woohoo!
Let me ask you a question. Were you shocked when he won the Gauntlet match?
Oh, very, very much so. And I said it last night. I was like, I was not expecting that at all whatsoever. I thought it would have been like Claudio or Jay White, maybe. 'Cause you did have Juice Robinson come down there and interfere. So I was very surprised because Will Ospreay just won the international title on Sunday.
Right, right.
He just won that title. So I feel it's a bit too soon. I understand if they want to put the world title on Will Ospreay, but I think it's a bit. I was not expecting them to do a match between those two this soon. I thought for sure that they wouldn't have their first perhaps match together until All In. And I've said this. I'm like, I can see them keeping the title on Swerve until All In, where they'll put it on Will Ospreay. And it seems to me like they are trying. AEW is trying to make Will Ospreay the face of the company, the face of AEW, kind of like how
Right,
they're making Cody Rhodes the face of WWE. So I'm seeing like the correlations there with it.
right.
But yeah, that was crazy. I was not expecting that at all.
No, no, I wasn't expecting that at all. Um, yeah, on an entertainment level. So what do you give the Gauntlet match?
the gauntlet, I thought overall, I thought the match was great. I mean, you had a lot of different wrestlers down there. You had people from CMLL, New Japan, AEW. Like, it was nice to see all the different people coming down. I didn't even know Will Ospreay honestly was a part of the match. I had no idea that he was involved in it, and like I said, I was very, very surprised. So, but I thought the match was good. They had a lot of really, really good spots, a lot of action. They kept it moving. I mean, I was just getting used to seeing the people in the ring that were in the ring, and then all of a sudden another person was coming down. So again, they kept it moving at a really good pace. So I give it an 8. I thought I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun.
All right. All right. Yeah, so I'm going to give this match an 8 as well. I'm going to give this match an 8. The match was great. I love the gauntlet match if it's done right. It was highly entertaining, and I love to see Will Ospreay in the match. And now it's going to be title holder taking on each other at the Forbidden Door number 3. Good stuff. Tony Khan wants a high profile main event for the Forbidden Door. I don't have an issue with it. Okay. Now we're going to talk about AEW Double or Nothing, which took place in the Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Oh boy, this was an epilogue. Um, 13 matches.
Yeah,
Really?
I want to start off by saying it is just too much, too much. And I constantly am hearing whispers and seeing things. People are writing on social media saying, "Oh, you get more bang for your buck with AEW. You pay $50 for a pay per view, and you get all these matches, and yada yada yada." And I'm like, it is too long. It is absurd to be sitting there for 5 or 6 hours. Like, it's too much. It's too much. Um,
Yeah.
Overall, I feel there are several matches that didn't need to be
One,
on
two,
the
three.
card.
Yeah, we're gonna discuss that.
Yeah,
We're gonna
sorry.
discuss it.
I'm not trying to
No,
jump
no,
ahead.
no, 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 no. You have to get your thoughts out, and it is vital that you do so. Um, Me and Sarah are going to go over these matches, and we're going to give you our opinion on it. All right. Let's talk about the buy-in for a second. The buy-in match had 2 matches in it. All right. One of them was Thunder Rosa taking on Deanna Purrazzo. The match was all right. The match was fine. Deanna Purrazzo cheated to win when she grabbed the rope and she rolled her up and she pinned her. But this was one of the matches. I think I know where Sarah's going with this. This was one of the matches that I felt in my heart of hearts. This would have been better on Rampage or
Dynamite,
or
Collision.
Dynamite, right? Or Collision. One of these 3 shows could have had this match. This wasn't a pre. This wasn't a pay-per-view worthy buy-in match. The match was fine for what it was. They did match up well in the match. The only, like I said, I just felt that this was not. This was just an ordinary like Dynamite or Rampage or Collision match. That's what it felt like to me. So, what do you think of the match?
I mean, you said it. You said exactly what I was thinking. This did not need to be on. I think it's stupid that they even do pre-show matches, um, because if it's not a good enough matchup, if it's not a good enough match to be on the actual card, then it shouldn't be on the pre-show. Put it on normal TV. Definitely this was a wasted spot. Like, this definitely could have been on Dynamite or Collision for sure.
Right. Yeah. On an entertainment level, what do you get this match?
mean, I thought the match was, I mean, like your famous words, it was fine for what it was. So
Right.
give it like it wasn't great, it wasn't awful. I give it a 5. Like it's middle of the road.
Right. And again, I'm going to agree with the assessment. A five it is. Um, and a five it should get. All right. The Acclaim with Daddy Ass took on Brian Cage in the Gates of Agony. Another match that you could see on Rampage.
Yep. Collision, Rampage, Dynamite.
Yep. And there was no build to none of these matches. It's just to toss it on there so that you can pad it. Um, the match was fine. The match was all right for what it was. Um, it was okay. It wasn't bad, but it was again. It didn't need to be on the pay per view. So what do you think?
Again, this could have been on television. Like it did not need to be on pay per view, whether it was a pre show match or on the actual card. Like, when you've seen one match with the Acclaimed, you've seen them all. It's the same thing, over and over again with these 6 people. So yeah, like I said, it wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. It was just kind of there. So yeah, I same as the other match. I give it a 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna be. I'm gonna go down the dial though. This match gets a three. Match is a three. I'm sorry, but this match just didn't do it for me. It didn't do it for me because it just didn't. Okay. All right. The Bang Bang Gang took on the Death Triangle. Now we're going to the main show. The Bang Bang Gang took on Death Triangle for the Trios title. Match was fine. The match was going good. Juice Robinson interfered, comes back to AEW, interferes in the match, and the Bang Bang Gang retain.
And this, as happy as I am that the Death Triangle's back together, this again for me is another match. It could have been in Dynamite.
Yep.
Death
Um.
Dynamite or Collision.
Yeah. I'm gonna. I'm going to agree. I'm going to agree with Sarah's assessment. On an entertainment level, what do you give the match?
I give this one a 5 as well. Like I said, it wasn't excellent. It wasn't awful. It was just there. It was so.
Right.
I mean, they all
Right.
did very good. They're all great wrestlers. They're all great performers. But I'm just like, yeah, this definitely could have been on television instead of a pay-per-view.
Yeah, I was just not a fan of this. I was just, um, I could have did without it, to be honest with you.
And I
This is,
understand
again, this,
probably wanted to make a big deal out of Juice Robinson coming back, but guess what? They do returns on television all the time.
right.
They could have done they could have definitely done this on Dynamite for sure.
Yeah, and now the Bang Bang Gang is now stronger than ever with Juice back.
Yeah.
So they retained the title. Okay. Okay. So, what do we give it on the entertainment level?
I gave it a 5 again because it was just
Okay.
there.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna agree, Sarah. This match was whack. It just didn't scream pay per view worthy to me.
Yeah. It really wasn't.
Um,
It really wasn't.
no.
I'm
So
sorry, but
that's
if you're paying $50 to watch a pay-per-view, you need to be wowing people. That's
Right.
how you give people their money's worth.
Right. I agree. I don't have an issue with what Sarah just said.
So that's what
So,
I felt about it.
right. So, um, yeah, the match gets a five for me. The match gets a five. Again, there's three matches so far that we've said is not worthy of pay per view. All right. Chris Jericho versus Hook and Shibata. FTW title. The match was fine. Brian Keith comes out in the now. Here's the thing that didn't make any sense. Why did you have Brian Keith dress up like a ninja?
Yeah.
What was the purpose of that?
Well, they wanted to try to subvert expectations because if you remember in the Go Home show for Collision, I believe it was on Collision, Brian Keith was like, he confronted Chris Jericho backstage and said, I'll get you someday and I'm not done with you yet, or something to that effect.
Right.
And I'm like, what are you trying to pull a fast one on us or something? Like,
Right.
nobody gives a crap about Brian Keith or Chris Jericho or Big Bill. Like I said, this whole learning tree thing can just jump out of a window. Like, it needs to go away. It's not doing anything. If there's anybody that could do some good by taking a hiatus, it'd definitely be Chris Jericho. At least on TV
Yeah.
anyway.
Right. Him and Jeff Jarrett. Yeah.
Yeah, that's another guy that definitely does not need to be on television.
Um. The match was fine, but again, like I said in the beginning of the conversation,
Mm-hmm.
the beginning of the conversation, why did you have him dress up like a ninja and knowing we all knew who it was?
It was just dumb. The
You
whole thing
you
was stupid.
yeah, I mean you're not fooling anyone with the mask.
Like
You're
I
not
said,
fooling anyone.
this seems to be a recurring theme for me. This is another match that could have put on television, on Dynamite or
Yep.
Collision.
Yep. So that's four matches we deemed on pay-per-view worthy.
Oh, I think I've got a couple more too.
Oh boy.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
All
I
right.
do.
And I don't have an issue with it whatsoever. Anyway, uh, um, so all right. So the match was fine for what it was. It was good for what it was. It was getting good. And Keith comes in and helps Jericho retain, and he screwed over Hook and Shibata in the match. Um, so on an entertainment level, what do you give the match?
Just because I like Hook and Shibata, I'm giving this one a 6.
Yeah,
Would have scored
a
higher if
six
it
it
wasn't
is.
for all the shenanigans and interference and stuff like that. That,
Right.
I do not like, obviously. But, yep, I give this a 6.
All right. Trent Beretta. Trent Beretta took on Orange Cassidy. The match was fine for what it was. I had no issues with it whatsoever. Uh, the build for the build for this match has been great. I hadn't
Mhm.
I kind of knew that this was what the road that they were going to travel on, that they were going to have a match with them. I said it and
Yep,
I
you sure
called
did.
it. I
Yep,
called it. I called it the
yep,
way I saw it. I called it.
yep.
Um, so the match happened. The match was fine. The match was all right. Trent Beretta said last night, I can't stand you, I hate you, and he busted open arms, and so they're not done with each other. They're not done with each other, not by a long shot. And I have a feeling we're gonna get part number two at the Forbidden Door.
Oh,
Um,
that would surprise me.
I would not be surprised with part two at the Forbidden Door.
Yeah, that would surprise me.
Um, all right.
Do you
So, what
think
did
they're
you think
gonna
of the match?
think they're gonna do this matchup? Do you think they're gonna do it like 3 times?
Um, I don't know about three times, but well, if Orange Cassidy goes over Trent Beretta at the Forbidden Door, and if I think that I think is what's going to happen, then yeah, we would have to have a rubber match because then they would be 1-1.
Yeah. Okay.
And you can't leave it tied. So
Mhm.
yeah. So we need to end the feud with number three. Um, but so what did you make of this match?
I thought it was all right. It's pretty standard though for the two of them, because they had that parking lot interaction where Trent had that match with Chuck Taylor. Um, remember when he like smashed his ankle or whatever, and they said that's why
Right,
Chuck Taylor can't wrestle anymore now, I guess. Um,
right,
but I mean, I don't know if that really is the case, if it's just part of a storyline or if it's actually true. Um,
right,
but they've been going back and forth for a while now, so it would be kind of nice to have like a conclusion to this soon.
right,
Um, so I feel that if they do have a match at Forbidden Door, that it should be that this is it, like done, and Trent Beretta needs to move on to somebody else to feud with.
right.
But I mean, they had good back and forth in the match. They both had good offense and good defense. I thought it was interesting that Don Callis was down there. I believe this was one of the matches he was down at ringside for. This and the Osprey match.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, they had good back and forth, good offense, good defense. So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it.
Um, yeah, I enjoyed the match too. The match was fun for what it was. Orange Cassidy's bestie, Mitchkowski was just all over the match. Um, so on an entertainment level, so what do you give this match?
um, I'd probably give this one a 7. I liked
Okay.
it. I liked it. It was fun. And I said, good back and forth, good pace, and yeah, Orange Cassidy won.
Yeah, and I'm gonna give this match a 7.1.
Okay.
The match was fine. The match was all right for what it was. It was fun. I liked Orange Cassidy and Trent Barada. They do well together in the ring.
Mhm.
Yep. All right. John Moxley took on Takeshita. Now
Take a
this match, take a what? Take a shit.
See this is another match for me that like no, they just did not. This match did not need to happen.
That's number five.
Yep.
So here's the thing. I think I know why Sarah said this because here's the thing. It's an IWGP title elimination match. Now, why do you book these matches like this? Now, Takeshita, I told us this. Me and Sarah went back and forth with this, and we discussed this. And Sarah did agree with what my assessment was. Why couldn't you have him be in a number one contenders match for the title, and then had Takeshita win it, and then take on Moxley for the title? Why
Yeah.
did you have to? Why did you go the other way? Why did you do the other way, the opposite way,
Yeah.
and make him qualified to beat John Moxley to become the number one contender? That makes no sense.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but title like eliminator, no, that championship eliminator match has no business being on a pay per view,
No.
especially if you were not going to have Takeshita go over. I just thought the whole thing was dumb as hell.
Right. Right.
Basically,
Mox.
beat Takeshita, who's one of the greatest wrestlers around right now. You've got John Moxley whooping him with one arm, pretty much.
Right.
Like,
So.
mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
Um, finish your thoughts, Sarah.
I just said no. I'm like, that's ridiculous. I was not a fan. This definitely is something they could have done on Dynamite for sure.
Oh, exactly. And this is the problem that I have. You should have had the case of being a number one contenders match, or even a triple threat number one contenders match. That would have been fine. And then have him win the triple threat match, and then take on Moxley for the title at the double or nothing. That would have
But I
made more
wonder though
sense.
too. I wonder though too. Like I was, because I thought I heard that somebody from New Japan has already challenged Moxley for the title at New Japan's. I think it's at their next pay per view. I'm not sure. So
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I'm wondering if that's why they did this way with the title eliminator or championship eliminator match, was because somebody from New Japan already challenged Moxley, and this is he's got a New Japan title. So I'm wondering if they have to follow like New Japan rules with it. Maybe that's like the only thing I could think of, is if because they have to follow New Japan rules because it's a New Japan title. Otherwise,
Well,
I
whatever.
don't know.
Well, whatever it is, you all did this backwards. Um, so on entertainment level 7, what do you give the match?
Oh, like I said, it was all right. Like I said, they're both great wrestlers. It was just another match on a pay per view. So I'd probably give it a 5.
All right, and I'm gonna give this match. I'm gonna give this match a a 3. The match gets a 3. It just didn't tickle my fancy.
Yep.
Uh, uh, Tony Storm took on Serena Deeb. The match was fine. The match was all right. Serena D took her to the limit. I had thought at one point in the match that Serena Deeb was going to win the match at one point. I really did. I was rooting for her to win the match and take that title away from. No, Tony Storm retained.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
she gave her a run for she gave Serena Deeb gave Tony Storm a run for her money. Like very, very, very technically sound. She is a very technically sound wrestler. I think she's
right,
fantastic. It's just promo wise, nobody, at least from what I was seeing, hearing, and talking about with you and everyone else, it was like there was no fire behind this match. There was no
right,
fire behind it. I know I'm not really crazy about this Tony Storm's gimmick. It's old, it's worn out. It's like, okay, let's move on, let's do something else. But I know not everybody feels that way, and we're stuck with this, for a
right,
while. So I foresee them keeping that title on Tony Storm until All In. Then potentially maybe Jamie Hayter or Britt Baker, somebody that's maybe injured comes back and they can do something about it.
right. I agree. I'm gonna agree with your assessment. I'm gonna agree with the entire package. Um, like I said, the match was fine. The match was okay for what it was. She did give her a run for her money, but Serena Deeb just ran out of gas. It was just, and then Mariah May and her shenanigans and the Butler.
I
Um,
was just gonna say it was pretty much, if you're going into a championship match or really any match with Tony Storm, you know it's pretty much 3-on-1, unless you've
Right.
got people down there backing you up too.
Right.
And there's just no way to combat that. And then you've got Aubrey Edwards with not seeing anything happening, magically not seeing anything. Of course she's gonna win. You know? Of course Tony Storm's gonna win.
Oh,
So,
yeah. On the entertainment level,
I give this one a 7. It was all right.
yep, it was all right for what it was. A
Yeah.
7 it is. A 7 it will get. All right. Um, Roderick Strong took on Will Ospreay. Oh, this match was a banger.
So good. So
It
good.
was- I think this was the match of the night for me.
It
This
was
this
great.
really it was a banger.
They both were wonderful. They both are
Yes.
so damn good. Um,
Yes.
just everybody knows how much I just love Will Ospreay. He is amazing, and Roderick Strong is really, really good. Didn't care for the shenanigans. Definitely didn't care for that. You don't need that. You just don't. And I get that Undisputed Kingdom is, their heel faction, and that's what heels do is they cheat and all that stuff. But we've said this so many times. It's just the whole interference and getting involved in the match. You don't need it. You
No.
don't need it when every single heel, because that's the big argument. Whenever I bring it up, other people are like, well, they're heels. That's what heels do. Well, not every single heel should be doing the same damn thing in every match. Like,
Well, explain that on the Queens of the Ring when
the
you
problem.
sitting down with Martina.
That's the thing. That's the problem that we have with Roman Reigns. It was the same crap, the same exact same thing every single time he had a match. Every time. And it's just boring. It's old, boring, worn out. People are, I'm sick of it. So I did not like the interference with his tag team friends came down, and then Wardlow came down, and did not like that at all. The referee kind of lost control of the match there for a little while
Yeah, he
with
did.
those other three down there. But yeah, it was good. It was an awesome match.
It was an
Very
awesome
good.
match. It was an awesome match, but I was screaming at the TV the whole time. I
Yep.
said, "Get these clowns out of here and get these clowns out of the circus and stop with this Elsie and all her friends coming down here." I
Yep.
was like, "This, why can't you just win the match clean? What is wrong with you? Um, get these guys out of here. Enough already with this interference." Matt Taven and all his friends and this one Wardlow come down and this one want to come. Oh my gosh! But when the smoke was cleared, Will Ospreay walked away with the championship, the international title. He walked away with on an
It was.
entertainment level.
I give this one an 8.5. I enjoyed it. I thought it was awesome. Very
Yeah,
good.
yeah, an 8.5. It is. See, me and Sarah would give it a little bit more, but because of the shenanigans in the match, we had to bump it down a little bit.
Yeah.
If there was no shenanigans in the match, then we would have bumped it up a little more. But because of the shenanigans, I have to agree with her assessment.
Yeah. It's not
And you
necessary.
all, go ahead, sir. What were you saying?
No, I said it's not. They're not. It's not necessary. It's really not. Any
No.
champion worth their any champion worth their salt. They don't need people to come down and bail them out. They don't.
I told London, I said that match made me had steam coming out of my ears because
So boring.
this was, if it was up to me and I was a referee, I would have thrown all three of them things out of there.
That's what I'm
I would have.
saying. Why are you not tossing them out? What are you doing?
Right. And it was like, oh my gosh, again, here he comes again. And I'm
Yeah,
like, and he's ruining the mystique of the match with all this shenanigans. Oh man.
I did not agree. I did not agree with that booking at
No.
all. That was terrible. It's boring and it's old. It's like, all right, let's think of something new. If you're gonna have somebody interfere, that's fine, but do something different.
Right.
Good grief.
Um, Adam Copeland took on Malachi Black in the barbed wire steel cage. Now this match was so physical.
Oh yeah.
The match was physical. It was a bloody war. It was even poor Martina. She was squeamish at the blood.
She was not liking that
If
at
you
all.
did you, if you all didn't see it, go back and
Oh
look. Go back and look at it. You can
yeah.
go back and look at it and see her reaction to it. Yeah.
I mean, they were
Um.
a bloody mess, both of them.
Yeah. It was something else. The match was a war. Um.
It was
At,
awesome.
at one point, Adam Copeland and Malachi Black were on the outside of the cage after the door got busted, and Brody King and them came down to the ring. Now, Mac and I looked at each other and we were like, well, something is strange here. Mac said there was something. Mac called it out. Mac said that there was something strange going on. And I said to myself, now wait a minute. Are they kicking Malachi Black out of the group? Is this what we're gonna get? And they're gonna side with Adam Copeland, and then that's gonna be the new faction? No, that's not what we got. No,
Nope.
no, that's not what we got. No, no.
They pulled a fast.
Uh, yeah. Brody King and them beat down Adam Copeland and tossed him back in the ring, and the match continued. With the busted door. But what happened afterwards was something else.
It was great.
Gang, Gangrel came out of the ring and made a hole in the ring like the Undertaker. I had first thought that he was going to drag them in the hole, and then this big pool of blood just comes shooting out like a
Oh,
geyser.
been awesome.
That would have been a great dramatic effect.
That would have been something else. Holy
And then
smokes.
he comes out of the hole of all this blood on him, and he comes out in the hole like it was Carrie, and he spooks the crap out of Malachi Black. And yes.
That would have
I
been
would have
amazing. That guy
that's the way I would have booked it. Yeah,
Oh,
that's the way I would have booked it.
that's so cool.
Yeah, that's the way
Imagine
I would
how
have booked
hard.
it.
Can you imagine how hard that would have been to clean up, though? I mean, I heard the
Well,
last time with the blood coming down on Malachi, they had. I think you said that they had 35 seconds of a backstage segment or commercial break or something
yeah.
all that mess cleaned up.
You are right.
5 seconds, and they got it cleaned
Right.
up because it was perfectly
Yeah.
fine for the next match.
Yeah, exactly. And
But
they had less time to fix the hole and put the ring back together.
oh
Uh,
yeah,
yeah. But this was great. So he comes out of the hole. He spits this red mist like he's Tajiri or something. This red mist, and
I loved him.
No, that's what it reminded me of when he gets
It was great. I loved watching him.
yeah, and he spread that red thing in his face. And Malachi got what he deserved. And Adam Cole took the ring back. He got on top of the cage. He broke his leg in the match, but he still was able to retain the title. Yeah. he couldn't stand up afterwards.
Yeah, he had Gangrella to help him walk up the ramp. Like you could,
Right.
I mean, very, very clearly um, favoring his other leg. Like he couldn't put weight on the damaged leg.
No,
So
no. So on an entertainment level, so what do you give this?
I give this one a 9.5. I thought it was great. I loved it.
And I'm going to give this match a 10. This match
It
was a
was
10 for
awesome.
me. This
So
match was a
good.
10 for me. This was absolutely fabulous. These men went, and I love the build for this. The build was fantastic for this match. Um, I loved it. I absolutely loved it from soup to nuts. I drank this. No pun intended. I drank it. Um, but yeah, I would have loved it if he would have came out of the hole and then the thing come out like a geyser, and he dragged the two of them into the hole, and then it came out like a geyser, and then he came out in the blood, and he spooked the crap out of him. Oh, that would have been great.
Oh yeah.
That would have been fantastic. That's the way I would have booked it. All
But you know what?
right,
That would have been super cool. But I think what we
even
got
cooler.
was pretty great. I mean, having Gangrel come out, and then then Adam Copeland during his entrance, he came out to that Slayer song, which was just
Yes,
great. Like just the ambiance of it. You had the fire coming up like they did, the red lights, like with the brood. It was great.
right. I loved
Just
it.
from start to finish. I loved that match. I thought that was the one that I was looking forward to the most. Um, was that match, and it didn't disappoint. It was really good.
It delivered the goods.
Oh, definitely, hands down, it did.
Um, yeah. Um, all right. It was Swerve Strickland taking on Christian Cage for the AEW title.
You mean Christian Cage and Geppetto and Pinocchio and Luchasaurus?
Right, exactly. And those are not lawyers. Those are scoundrels, and they're gonna be at the times, and you're gonna watch the wrestling experience, yes,
Oh yeah.
if you will.
Okay, Dusty Cole.
District of Columbia.
Dusty Cole. DC Dusty Cole.
If you will. The match was fine. The match was all right. Swerve Strickland it took on. It was a match. It was great. It was absolutely great. Christian, he did everything to try to get that title, but it just didn't work. All the shenanigans in the match with with him and Pinocchio and
Yeah, with
then
Nick
what?
Wayne and his mom and
Right,
Luchasaurus, and it just was like, really?
and then Nick Wayne and his mom and Luchasaurus were tossed from the match after
Oh
they
God.
kept interfering in the match. They kept, but what was terrible? Nick Wayne didn't go back to the locker room. He slid underneath the ring, and he was underneath there, and he attacked Swerve Strickland on the outside.
Oh, magically, of course, the ref didn't see it.
No,
Naturally.
um,
And I thought it was super dumb that the ref threw out Prince Nana. I'm like, what the hell?
yeah. Prince Nana was
Possibly
tossed as well.
that Prince Nana was going to do anything nefarious with. I mean, you didn't just see her toss the belt to him. Come on,
Right,
that's
exactly. Well, yeah,
it's
they didn't see that part.
it's just stupid. I
And then,
thought it was
but
dumb as hell.
yeah, but then Prince Nana came back with a pipe. Um, and he danced
It
his
was
way with the
awesome.
right. He danced his way back to the locker room with the pipe.
treating it like a cane, like
Start spreading the news. I'm using the pipe. I want to be a part of the match with the pipe, with the pipe. Anyway, this is
So it was so great to see Prince Nana back after he was out injured. So it was nice to
right.
see him back. It was great. That entrance again, entrance was for Swerve was awesome. It was
Right.
very and having Prince Nana there, he's very missed. I mean, it's like an essential part of Swerve's entrance is having Prince Nana there with him. So I was really happy to see that.
Right. So Swerve Strickland retained the title. He retained it when the smoke was cleared. He retained it, and it was a good match. It was part of the triple threat.
Can we talk for a second about
Yes.
where Christian went to go spear Swerve and Swerve turned it into a house call and kicked him right in the side of the
Oh
face?
yes.
That was
Yeah, I loved it.
amazing. Oh
Yeah, that
my,
was great. That was a great counter to the spear.
so good. So good. Like I popped hard for that. That was looked so awesome. So yeah, I thought the match was awesome. I mean, Christian Cage plays a great heel. Swerve is, hopefully gaining more momentum as the champion. I don't think they should have done like a triple main event. I think that um I mean Swerve definitely should have been the main event. I'm just
Right.
being That's just what I feel. Swerve should have been the main event. One main event, that's it. You don't need 3, 4 main events. I just don't agree with that.
Right. Um. So on an entertainment level, so what do we give this
I
time?
give it a 9. I
Yep.
liked it.
This the match was a nine for me. The match was a nine. Great stuff. Great chemistry. Great nuance in the match. I had no issues with it whatsoever.
Yep.
This was great. This was really great. Um. All right. Willow Nightingale took on Mercedes Monet for the TBS Championship. This was this was a culmination of what happened with them in New Japan. It bled into this match. Um, Monet went over in the match and she won the TBS Championship. And what happened was that once Chris Statlander turned heel, Stokely Hathaway cost Willow Nightingale a chance to retain when he distracted the referee, which we all knew that was what he was going to do, and that was he did that on purpose.
Yeah. You could see
Um,
that heel turn coming a mile away.
right. But the match was fine. The match was all right for what it was.
Yeah.
Great chemistry, great nuance in the match. I had no problems with it. Sarah, what did you make of the match itself?
I mean, I thought it was good. They both did a really good job. Um, Willow is fantastic. She's gaining momentum. Continues to get better and better. Um, whether it's doing a promo or in the ring, she's great. Um, a lot of people probably won't agree with me when I say this next part, but I don't care. It's how I feel. Mercedes, she is a great wrestler. She does an excellent job, but I think she gets more credit than she deserves. I don't think she's half as good as she thinks she is in her own mind. I think she's a little too getting a little too big for her britches there. I think it's
Okay.
I think it's absolutely ridiculous that 2 months of bad promos and she gets a championship match and wins. She hasn't done anything. She hasn't done anything to earn a shot at that title. So
Agree.
I just do not agree with this at all. They're both fantastic. They both did great in the match. I don't agree with the outcome at all whatsoever.
No,
I'm
I don't.
very
I don't.
disappointed. Very, and we knew going into it. It's like, oh, great, her first match is at Double or Nothing. Yeah, Willow's losing the title. We all called it. You, me, Nick. We all called it.
Yep, we
We
did.
all called it. And I'm very disappointed. I do not think that was a good booking decision. I think it was
No.
terrible. Um, at the very least, if this was what you're going to have happen, then at the very least, Mercedes should have been in the ring a while ago,
Yeah,
doing matches, and she still could have been keeping up her feud with Willow while she was having matches. Like, make it
right.
somewhat believable. But yeah, that's ridiculous.
And another thing too is another thing too is that um the we I mean 'cause here's the thing, we all knew in our heart of hearts that she was not going to win, she was not going to lose her first match on pay-per-view. That wasn't going to happen. That was not going to happen, and I felt bad for Willow Nanga because she really didn't have a decent title run. She really didn't have a decent title run, so to just do that to her and then had Statlander turn on her on top of the disappointment cake was just mm. uh oh boy, yeah, okay, on an entertainment level, so what do we
For this one, I'd probably give it a 7.5. Um, because they're both fantastic, but I just, like I said, I did not agree with the end result of this at all whatsoever. Not at all.
no, no. Mm-mm. All right, we're up to the main event, and that was Team AEW taking on the Elite. This match was woolly, wild, and all over the place.
It was
The,
fun. It was
it
fun.
was,
You
the match
know,
was, yes, I agree. The match was overbooked, but, but, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Every time they kept changing the music in the arena, um, the Dapper Yapper, um, the Dapper Yapper, Justin Roberts called it a shit show. Welcome to the shit show. He
pretty
was-
much. That's pretty much what it was.
I'm just repeating what he said. I'm just repeating what he said. That's what he said.
He's not
Uh,
wrong. It was a shit show. It's
uh,
hard. That's the one thing that I have a hard time with these kind of matches is that there's so much going on in so many different places and different areas of the arena or the ring. It's hard for me to pay attention to everything and keep track of what is going on with whom, because there's so much going on.
right,
I'm
right.
trying to pay attention to what the announcers are saying. It's like, wait, where's Darby? Like, I don't see him on the screen. And then they show him after they've already announced it. I'm like, okay, well, we missed whatever it is they were seeing because the camera wasn't on him. So
Right.
it was just hard.
But and then during the match, they had four boxes on the screen to show you what was going on in the. Now, at one point, Brian Danielson and the Darby Allin were drinking the mommy and daddy juice, which I introduced to Mac. He didn't know what was mommy and daddy juice. He was thinking of something else of the daddy juice. But but that's not what I was. That's not what I was driving at. That's not what I was driving at. Uh,
Funny.
that's not what I was driving at. I introduced that to mommy and daddy juice. So anyway, they were spitting into each other's face. They changed the music. At one point at the end of the match, Darby Allin was hung upside down like a meat locker, and Jungle Boy went there and pinned Brian Danielson to win the match. It was just it was a mess. Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler were destroyed. They just had no answers for the Elite. And then they put on those ugly sneakers with the spikes in it, and that's. Like I said, the match was really wild and all over the place. Sarah, what did you think of the match?
There was, like you said, Willy Wild and all over the place. There was a lot going on. I particularly liked when I thought it was really funny that they had. No, I don't like the young children as you call them. I just call them douchebags. Um, but I thought it was really funny how they were playing the final countdown for Brian Danielson, and the music was still
Well,
going, and Matt or Nicholas Jackson, I always mix them up, said, "This costs us $200,000. Shut the music off. Stop the music. Stop the music." So I thought that was funny.
well,
So that made me laugh. But my favorite part of the match was when Jungle Jackass got his ass lit up, and I was here for it. It was amazing. I loved that. That was my
and then
favorite part.
yeah, and then he came in the gorilla. He came in the gorilla position, got Tony Khan, like the videotape footage. They had to do that again. They had to relive that. Throwing
So
him down the ramp. You see Tony Khan rolling down the ramp, and then he scampers on back to the back to go back in the gorilla position. Um, I thought that was ridiculous.
it was stupid.
Um,
It was just dumb. But like I said, Darby lit his ass up, and I thought that was awesome.
yeah, Jungle Boy got his legs, chicken legs burnt. Um, and yeah. So on the entertainment level, so what do you give this match?
This match, I'd give this one an 8. I enjoyed it. It was just fun. It was just fun. There was a lot going on, but it was fun.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with your assessment. Yeah, I'm going to agree with your assessment. No, 1 second. Um,
I think that's it.
yes, I think that is it.
Yep, I think that's all of them.
That is all of yeah. So all right. So now let's go to the Queen and the King of the Ring. These were four intense matches. These were four intense matches, and I had a lot of fun with them. But we had a lot of fun with them too. All right, let's talk. Let's just go through them. Nia Jax took on Bella Valkyria. The match was fine. The match was all right for what it was.
Yep. We all
She
knew
like
that Nia Jax was winning. Like, so no
yeah.
surprise.
I no. I thought that Lyra Valkyria was going to win the match. That didn't happen. The last spot in the match, she did hold on to the ropes and she did squash her. And she won. So now her dance partner at SummerSlam is going to be Bailey.
Yep.
Nia is going to go after Bailey for the title at SummerSlam,
Yep.
and she will have her celebration tomorrow night. We will have the SmackDown tomorrow night. Me and Martina, Queen Nia will be in the ring. And I'm sure she's going to kick the show off and she's going to brag about how she squashed Layla Valkyria and becoming a queen. She won it fair. She won it clean in the match. The match was fine. So, what do you give this match on the entertainment level?
Um, like I said, I'm not the biggest Nia Jax fan. Has she improved since the last time she was here? Yes. However, neither one of those ladies has done enough yet to earn a title shot. I'm sorry, not sorry. So I'd give this a 6. It was just okay to me. So
Yeah, the match was okay. The match was okay, like Sarah said. I also give it a. Well, I'm going to go down the dial a little bit. I'm going to give this a 5. Yeah, give this a 5. It was okay for what it was. But I want to see it again. No,
no, no.
no, no. The Intercontinental Championship was up for grabs. Sami Zayn took on Big Bronson Reed and Chad Gable. The match was fine, but what I really loved in the match was what Otis did to Chad Gable. Oh boy, did he deserve it! Jolly good time was that. I love calling that match. That match was a lot of fun. Otis clotheslined the crap out of Chad Gable on the floor.
Oh yeah, he sure did,
And
and he had it coming. He deserved it.
yep, great chemistry, great nuance in the match. Love the triple threat. Sammy retains. And Sammy, and as what Nick always said, as he should,
As he should. That's right.
as he
Well, I
should.
mean, Brunt. I think the right guy ate the pin too. You had
Right,
Brunt Reed take the pin, so you weren't
right,
stifling Chad Gable and his feud with Sami Zayn. So.
right. Yeah. So
Mhm.
on an entertainment level stuff, what do you give this match?
I give this one an 8.5. I
All
thought
right.
all three of them did really good. It was really good. All three of those guys were fantastic.
I'm going to give this match. I'm going to give this match the same way. I'm going to go the same way. I loved it, especially what Otis did. I loved it.
Oh yeah.
I absolutely loved it. All right, all right. Um, the finals of the King tournament. It was Gunther. Gunther took on Randy Orton. The match was very controversial. Match was good. The match was good. The ending was hit a sour note.
Oh yeah. I saw it right away.
Uh,
I was like, what the hell are
oh,
they trying to pull here?
Dan England, the referee, counted the shoulders when he shouldn't have.
His right shoulder, or was it his left? It was his left shoulder was barely, the top of that shoulder was barely on the mat. His right shoulder, or excuse me, the right shoulder was down, barely. The left shoulder wasn't on the mat, wasn't anywhere near the mat.
No, he wasn't. And that's he shouldn't have done it.
And
That was a no-no.
you can't use the excuse of, oh, I didn't see it, because guess what? He was looking right at his shoulders when he was counting.
Right.
Nonsense. Just nonsense.
So there's an asterisk next to the. So Triple H addressed the controversy during the scrum. Um, it looks like we're on the road for a rematch, and I think that's going to happen at the Clash of the Cat. I think. Don't quote me on it. I think. And I don't have an issue with it. I don't have an issue with it. On the entertainment level, so what do we give this match?
I would rate it higher, except for that botch by the ref at the end. I'll give it an 8.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8 as well. Match was fine. Match was fine. Becky Lynch took on Liv Morgan. This was great. Now this was funny. I love Sarah. Sarah wanted me to entertain her with the match. So when I used the phrase Becky kicks out at two, so Sarah went, yeah, Becky kicks out at two. Becky kicks out at two.
Oh my god,
And we brought out the disco classic.
the
What do you
first
see? My little pony.
oh my god, the first time you ever did that, it was, God, I want to say 7 or 8 months ago, and it was during an AEW Dynamite live watch along, and oh my goodness gracious, I was like, hey, I haven't, we haven't done this one in a while. I was
The
like,
disco
it just
classic
popped into
was
my
over.
head. He kicks out at 2.
Becky kicks out too. To, and then, what do you see? My little pony. Becky Lynch kicks out at you. Anyway,
Oh my gosh.
I used it on Nick Wayne, but I took Wayne out and I used Becky Lynch.
Oh,
Um,
that's so funny.
she wanted to hit a clock. So yes, that's where it came from. That's where it came from. That little ditty. So Don Mysterio came down and interfered in the match, and again he's up there saying that he was trying to help Becky retain. No, you weren't, Pinocchio.
Yeah.
And he cost Becky Lynch the title. Liv used the chair behind the referee's back and won the title with the Oblivion. So, Sarah, what did you think of the match?
I thought it was all right. I mean, we all knew Liv was going to win, which is totally fine. Becky needs to be taking her break. So, yeah, I mean, I thought it was all right. It wasn't anything special. But, yeah, I thought it was all right.
All right. And on the entertainment level, what do we give this match?
I give it a 7.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say wavelength and 7 is a 7 it is. All right. We're up to the main event of the night. And that was Cody Rhodes taking on Mr. Prime, Logan Paul. The match was fine. The match was okay. The only problem that I had was those stupid brass knuckles again. And I told this to Mitch. I said, I don't trust him with a 10-foot pole. And sure enough, he comes out with the brass knuckles and he's going to use it. And I mean, he did. He did use it. So I was not happy about that. Not a fan of that at all. The referee gets mashed in the corner. I thought at one point that Logan Paul was going to try to cheat to win and get the title, but that didn't happen. Cody overcame all the obstacles and odds and still remained the champion. So what did you think of this match?
Once again, I don't know. Like, Logan Paul is very talented. He's good in the ring. However, I can't take him seriously because he just signed a full-time contract like a month before WrestleMania.
Mhm.
And again, I will say the same thing I've said before, even tonight, is what has he done to earn a world title shot? He already has a title. Like, I just
Right.
thought this whole thing was dumb. Didn't agree with his little posse being down at ringside. I don't know why the referee didn't kick both of them out. I just thought that was dumb. And then using the brass knuckles. Again, I cannot take him seriously if he constantly cheats to win. And I do not want to hear the excuse, oh, he's a heel. He's supposed to cheat. That's what heels do. No, they don't. No, they do not.
Right.
So I thought the match was all right. I also thought it was not a smart idea for Cody Rhodes to have the referee stop the 10 count when Logan was outside the ring. It's like, let him keep counting. Let him keep counting.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, I thought, of course, they both did a great job. And yeah, now it's like, okay, now I'm ready for Cody to move on to the next person because I don't need another feud with Logan Paul.
Right.
Sorry, but that's just how I feel.
No, well, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have to see who's his number one contender is because he's gonna defend that title again at the Clash of the Castle. So we're gonna see who that
Maybe,
opponent
who knows,
is.
maybe they'll do another match with Logan Paul again since it's only Clash of the Castle's only 3 weeks away. I think it's kind of stupid to do a feud with a new person for 3 weeks. Like that
Right,
does not make sense.
right.
It doesn't make sense. So
So we have to wait and see what happens with that, with what Nick Aldis has to say. Don't forget, me and Martina will have we will have the SmackDown tomorrow night on Fox. On an entertainment level, sir, what do we give this match?
I give this one an 8 as well. Like it was a good match and everything, but do I want to see it again? Not really. I really don't
Yeah.
need to see it again. And I know Nick just loves Logan Paul. I really could give a crap about Logan Paul. I really don't care. I really don't care one way or the other. It's kind of like he's there. You know, he's defending his US title until SummerSlam when somebody inevitably takes it off of him in his hometown. So I really don't give a crap about Logan Paul. I
Ay,
don't.
ay, 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 ay. Um, I love it. I just love her honesty. She just like blam.
I don't care. I do not. It's like, if he's there, okay. If he's not there, that's even better. Like I really don't really don't care.
Right. All right. So I'll give it an 8 as well. I'll give it an 8 as well. The match was fine for what it was. And again, sir, you did a brilliant job tonight. I want to thank you for your time and energy. Your analytics and your honesty and your laughter. I just feed off of that, and I just love to have fun with you. And it's always great. We don't get to do these often, but when we get together, folks, it is a lot of fun. It is a testament of what me and Sarah do
Oh
together.
yes,
So
we always have fun.
anyway,
We can
always.
agree. Sometimes we agree. Sometimes we agree to disagree. Like it's fine, but it's good to talk this stuff out because many times you, Nick, Martina, Toddy, Mitch, even Denise, like you guys, Mac, like you guys have me see things from a different perspective. Like, hey, I never thought about it like that. So that's
Right.
why I think these conversations are great. And I've said it before and I'll continue to say it. We are so lucky to be wrestling fans nowadays. There's wrestling on 6 nights a week. 6 nights a week. Like we are very lucky this day and age that we get to watch all this stuff. It's great.
Exactly. So the next time me and Sarah will be coming together, everyone, will be next Thursday. We're gonna be back together again next Thursday for the wrestling experience. And we're gonna rewind Dynamite. We're gonna talk about that. But don't forget, we have a very special Dynamite on. I mean, a very special wrestling experience. However, on the 13th of June, we're gonna bring Nick and Mac. No, those are not lawyers. Those are wrestling fans, and they're gonna help us predict the Clash of the Castle. That will happen on June 13th. That will happen on June the 13th, and we're gonna have that special ditty on that show. And again, Sarah, I want to thank you again for your time and energy. I will see you next Thursday night for the wrestling experience, and we're going to have fun again on this mothership and this telecast. Um, and that is a testament of what we do. Now, I'm going to be back in cyberspace tomorrow night with Martina. I'm gonna be Martina aboard the mothership, and she's gonna help me do SmackDown. We're gonna do SmackDown, and then on Sunday night I return with Monday Night Raw. It'll be me. It'll be Orange Cassidy's bestie, Mitch Hosky. Miss Hosky and Martina and I will all bring you Monday Night Raw. And we'll bring that telecast. And don't forget, Sarah will also be returning with the Queens of the Ring, and that will happen on June 11th. That will happen on June 11th. We're going to be back with the Queens of the Ring with us, but it's going to be enhanced because now we got co-pilots. We've got co-pilots now on the Queens of the Ring. It's girl night. It's ladies night, and the feelings right. Oh, what a night. Oh, what a night. Oh yes, ladies. Oh yes. Oh, yes. What a night. Yes, ladies.
I can't go that
Oh
low.
my. Oh, what a night. Anyway.
Oh, it's so funny.
Oh gosh. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope everyone will have a great weekend and enjoy your weekend and have fun this weekend. And please, please, whatever you do, just don't drink and drive, but have fun this weekend. Sarah, I wish you a great weekend
You
and
too.
enjoy. Thank you. And enjoy yourself. And I will be back, like I said, 24 hours from now with Friday Night SmackDown. For Sarah, I'm all ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night. And thank you for watching the Wrestling Experience powered by the Hardcore Sport.